Forgot to mention it during the episode, so I'm doing it before you listen to the podcast. The upcoming episode this coming Monday is episode 50. It's a pretty big deal, and we decided to do something kind of special for it. We want you guys to submit your takes, your opinions, directly to us for us to react to for an entire episode. So if you want your takes featured, all you have to do is join our Discord server, link down in the description below. There's an entire channel set up called Share Your Takes, where you can go in there and submit one football and one non-football opinion, or even question, and we will feature it in the next episode. Could drop more than just one submission if you want, but we probably will just do one per person. But if you want to see our live reactions to your questions, your takes, be sure you're joining the Discord before we record next Monday. So within the next couple days, drop your submission in the Share Your Takes channel and you'll get featured on episode 50. What is going on, y'all? This is the Caveman. I'm here with Football with Oz Austin for episode 49 of Against the Blitz, and today we are giving our official 2025 award predictions. MVP, defensive, offensive rookie of the year, player of the year, the whole 9 yards. And we're going to really dive into this. We're going to give you as in-depth of an analysis behind our opinions as we possibly can, just like we always do. But before we get into that, as always, join the Discord down below. We have a lot of active conversation in there. We try to involve the members in what we talk about on a weekly basis. We just ask them what our random top 5 of the episode should be, since we're kind of starting to do some random categories, and we got some fascinating responses. So if you want to be involved, that's the place to be. But we're going to be talking about awards for the most part of this episode.
Yeah, I mean, mine aren't really like predictions because I got these from Goodell himself. I took these from his desk from the script. So I'll be giving you the actual answers, but he'll be giving you his predictions.
Fair enough. Well, I feel like we should probably just start with the biggest one. Like, let's hook people in. Let's try to get everyone on the edge of their seat for the biggest award, the MVP, the one that people argued about for months last year. It was one of the most painstaking conversations, especially being a Bills fan, that I had to be around in a long time. Like, it was very difficult to have to argue that perspective. But
I was to argue that, like, the thing that I wanted happened, but the thing that I think should have happened did not. So it was like me, I wasn't going to argue it because I was like, I mean, hell yeah, like, give Josh that MVP. He's like my second favorite player in the NFL. But yeah, I was like, but yeah, I had to mute the word Lamar, the word Raven, the word Bill, and the word Josh from my Twitter for like 3 months.
It was terrible. Like, and I remember like Nerd Sesh made a big video talking about why Josh should win, and that went crazy and sparked so much conversation. And then there were just Ravens fans were just unbearable on Twitter. It's like, I'm sure Bills fans were too. I just didn't see a large majority of it, but oh my God, it was terrible. At least it was better than arguing with Steelers fans. That's something I had to rant about pretty recently.
I remember one of the first episodes we ever did. I told you how much I hate Steelers fans. You were like, really? I was like, yes, you'll see. Now you know.
I found out. I didn't even find out firsthand. I was just on the outside looking in, and it still drove me insane. So let's just talk about what's important here. Your MVP of 2025. Who do you got?
I got the player that I think should have won it this year, Lamar Jackson. And the player that I didn't think should have won it in 2024. But it was kind of a gimme. But either way, the guy threw for 4,100 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 4 picks. That is something that you would have seen from like Aaron Rodgers, in his prime years. And then you're like, oh yeah, he also ran for 915 yards. That is stupid. And I don't see any reason why he can't do that again, barring health. Like, most of his issues that he's ever had statistically are just health or having a dog shit supporting cast, but they definitely don't have that anymore. So I think it'll be a bit of a Lamar deserves it, but also like a Lamar makeup award.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely felt like it was some people at least thought there maybe was some fatigue that went into the voting for this past year, but I was so close to going with Lamar as well. I was also very close to doing something completely irrational, but I stopped myself.
You should always do that.
I was close. But I stuck to my bearings, and I decided to go with a guy that's kind of fallen out of the, I guess, the spotlight, if you will, at least as far as like the top names go, and that's Mahomes. I feel like Patrick Mahomes has been kind of forgotten about. People are suddenly not considering him one of the best, or people are starting to rank him below Lamar, below Josh. I don't care how big of a Bills fan I am. I don't care how many yards Lamar has. I think they are both still very far from Patrick Mahomes, legacy wise, and just as far as being an actual quarterback. I mean, compared to early versions of Patrick, he's definitely been almost a shell. Like that could be attributed to the evolution of the offense. They have leaned more toward yards after catch than yards in the air, and losing Tyreek Hill hurts, and they really didn't supplement that really with anything that's threatening downfield. But I think in 2025, we see the pendulum kind of swing back toward the big play. Like, I think the Worthy touchdown at the end of the Super Bowl was the biggest fuck you I've seen, like, in the form of football play in a long time. Like, they were just getting murdered, and Mahomes is like, fuck this. Like, I know I'm better than everybody on this fucking football field. I just got to air this bitch out. And he dropped it in a bucket from like 55 yards out. Like, I think this year they're going to try and get back to that. And once Rice returns, and even while Royals is probably filling in for him, second year Worthy, Marquise Brown, and even Kelsey, whenever he decides to give a shit, like, it's going to be scary. Like, I think we can see 2022 scary type of Mahomes again, if that's what they get back to. So,
and what was that, like 5,200 yards, like 42 touchdowns, way more than that even. Like, that's definitely MVP stats. And he was the guy I initially wrote down, but then I was thinking about like who they would want to give it to. And I think they want Lamar to get this MVP. But Patrick Mahomes, like, people act like he's been like statistically down for like 5 years. It's been 2. He's had 2 years where he wasn't the best statistical quarterback in the NFL. I think people should calm down a little bit. This is also like that comfortably his best receiving situation he's had in the last 2 years. And I think, having Josh Simmons at left tackle, bringing back, 2 of the best interior offensive linemen in the NFL, I think they'll still be damn fine. And a healthy Pacheco, I feel really, really good about his odds. And I would have him number 2.
Yeah, I almost feel like Mahomes is the guy they would end up. Like, if it came down to Mahomes and Lamar, hypothetically, I feel like they would want to give it to Mahomes. Like, every year, no matter what happens with Mahomes, he's getting MVP votes. Like, he's got a solid chunk this past year and even the year before, despite probably not having a year necessarily worthy of it, at least statistically speaking. So I do think they'd be like, yay, Mahomes is back. Let's give it to him.
Yeah, I think he's getting like kind of Jokic-esque, where it's like he's been doing it for so long, and he's been like statistically like the best in the league for a while. So the very second you have some other guy, some SGA that's doing it a little bit flashier, that's doing it a little bit cooler, you're like, okay, fine, damn, here, give it to that guy instead. And like, I feel like if it comes down to like any of the top 4 quarterbacks, Mahomes is definitely the one that like the league seems to like the most. But I think that there also is like the MV3 thing for Lamar. Like, there's a whole lot of stuff that they have really liked for him. So I don't know. I think that the league will be happy if it's any of those quarterbacks. I think they just don't want to give it to like Baker Mayfield or something. Like, that would be bad for business. But if it's Joe Burrow or Josh Allen or anything, and whoever threw for the most touchdowns, it'll be good for business.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I ended up kind of staying on the rails with my opinion here, because they're going to want it. They just want their big names to get it. We all know that. But at the end of the day, they're the ones that do probably deserve it the most. Like, it is lame and kind of boring to feel like you're reaching in a pile of 32 quarterbacks and you can only come out with one of the 4 every time. But that's just how it is. Like, they are that much better than kind of everyone else. And their teams are likely better than everyone else, which we know matters a lot, except for the Bengals. But at least as far as last year goes.
Yeah,
but
the Bengals team hurt his chances. Like, they're like, yeah, this is definitely like one of the better statistical passing seasons like ever. But your defense gave up 28 points a game, and you should have done something about that. So we're gonna take that away. Like, that was stupid. But who is your unhinged thought?
I was gonna save. I won't go on a rant about it, but my unhinged.
Say the name.
It was Matthew Stafford.
Okay. That's
I
not
think
even
it's not that
unhinged.
crazy,
No.
but he is 37. This is the best. I think this is the best situation he has been in his
Mhm.
career comfortably. The offensive line feels stable. Sean McVay's the play caller. Puka Nakua's, hitting stride as one of the best receivers in football, and they just paired him with Devontae Adams, drafted Terrence Ferguson. Like, there is just so much to like here. And the only thing that I feel like could hold him back is like Kyron Williams scoring 20 touchdowns again. Like, I think
Yeah.
that's been a problem, is how much they want to run the ball and how many touchdowns he takes. If that kind of swings a little bit, and we could see Stafford, he might not throw for the most yards, but if he has like a 2021 Rodgers kind of season where he was like 38, the Rams are the best team in the NFC, and he throws for like 4,000 and has like 37 touchdowns and like 6 interceptions, I think that will at least get him in the race. So
Yeah.
I was very close to going there, but like I said, the top 4 guys are just so good. I couldn't steer away.
You can't.
No. Where did you want to go next?
I think we could go next to the offensive player of the year. Who was your pick?
My pick here is somebody that I just mentioned and someone that I have been championing for quite a while now. And it's hard not to align this with some of the fantasy opinions that we have already shared, but it is Puka Nacua for offensive player of the year. Had he played all of 2024, he would have been like second in receptions, third in total yards. Like, this wouldn't be a wild, or at least as wild of an opinion, if he would have finished the season. And I've said it like 90,000 times already, but he was easily the most productive receiver on a per route basis comfortably compared to everyone in the league. And like, Devontae Adams is like worrying a lot of people, which I get, but they passed the torch to Puka when Cooper Kupp went down a couple of years ago. And that's just how this offense works. When you're a focal point, you're the focal point. Everyone is the Robin to the Batman. So that's how I see it. And I saw some fantasy accounts like comparing Puka to what happened to Garrett Wilson last year. And it really pisses me off, because that is just like looking at things statistically instead of understanding that the Jets just traded for Rodgers' buddy and they just padded their stats for like the entire season once they realized
And
it was over.
There's a big difference between current day Rodgers and current day Stafford as well. Like,
yes,
they're going to be on the field much more. They're going to be in the red zone a lot more often. Like, there's just going to be, even if they do, spread the wealth that much, there's going to be so much more opportunity because they're just such a better offense that like he'll still get his touchdowns. He'll still get his catches. Like, they're not going to be tunneling screens to Devontae Adams. Like, that's Puka's bread and butter. He's catching balls and getting yards out of it. Wow. Like, and I also don't think that McVay cares a whole lot too much about Devontae Adams. Like I don't think he cares how much he gets the ball. I think Puka's his guy. He's been his guy for a couple years now. He'll stick with that.
Yep. It just feels like the writing's on the wall with Puka. It's like he's the right kind of age. We're waiting for that like massive explosion kind of season that we all know he's capable of. He's in the proper role. We've seen production that could project this type of season. So it just feels like all of the ingredients are there. It's just a matter of him staying on the field, and I think he can easily run away with this.
There is like a certain age. Like, there's almost like a certain feel to a player when you're trying to pick them, because like it's obviously like when you pick offensive player of the year, you think to Saquon or you think to Jamar or Derrick Henry, but you're like, these guys have had their time. Like, and now it's like the offensive player of the year is always someone you don't quite expect to blow up as much as they do. So for that, I picked Bijan Robinson, who in the fantasy community has definitely been that guy. But I think when compared to actual running back lists, he's usually 3 or 4, swapping with Gibbs. But I think that Bijan Robinson is cut from a pretty similar cloth to LaDainian Tomlinson, where he's not the fastest, not the strongest. He's just a damn good running back. And I think their offensive line's pretty dang good. And I think that this offense is going to be ran completely through 2 people, Bijan and Drake. And I think Bijan Robinson is going to score a lot more touchdowns than people are actually thinking.
I was thinking about going with London, Like if
I thought about it too.
if I didn't have
Yeah.
the strong feelings about Puka that I do, London was certainly in the conversation because we've talked about it before. Like this offense is going to really flow through him, especially like obviously through the air. But if they are competitive in football games and they're not behind too often, like Bijan is going to get the rock just as much. So
Yeah.
and even through the air, I mean, he's probably their second best pass catcher to be honest.
He is.
Like especially
Yeah.
with the ball in his hands, I think any good offensive coordinator like Zach Robinson is going to do what he's done before and get it to him however he can. So I think the sheer amount of touches is going to be enough to put him in this conversation.
I don't think the Algier thing is as much as of a thing as it used to be. I think people put too much into like the age for running backs. I think people expect running backs to come into the league at their best and then slowly, get worse. But there is like a 3, 4, 5 year period where running backs do still get a lot better. And now that Bijan's entering that 3 to 4 year period, I think year 3, like he is entering his prime just about now. And with pretty little injury history, not too crazy wear and tear for a whole career, like it just smells like an OPOY year.
Yep. Yeah, you kind of encapsulated it perfectly with like the feel of a player that you're looking to project this out for. Like you just kind of know when all of the things are there.
It's just like he's due. Like somebody's just due.
Yes.
Like you could pick, an older receiver that you think is going to have a good year, but like are we really going to pick Saquon again? Like there's so many injury things that you have. Like obviously he could, because nothing changed for them. They have a great line and a great offense, but there's too many things that could go wrong. Whereas like a young player, like he popped off last year and things are getting better. So you expect better. And like, I always want to be on the young side. I don't want to be attached to all these geezers. Ever.
Right. And it's a lot more fun to project an explosion than it is to bet on another one from a player that already had one. Like, I think that's a lot more to ask than a guy that is looking like he's on the verge of breaking out.
Yeah. Like, congrats, Chump. You can read a box score. Like, I'm doing thinking right here.
Exactly.
Not like Bijan's any kind of like super hard thinking or anything, but like still, like if you look at the odds, I'm sure Bijan is not, the betting favorite. I'm sure that it has to be Jamar Chase, but that wouldn't be crazy. Jamar's also like 25 years old. He's still very much in that prime and probably hasn't even hit it yet. But regardless, I think it's still Bijan.
Let me see the odds. I want to see the odds.
Because Jamar went nuts last year and they didn't want to give it to him. I am confident they don't want him to have the award. I think they want it to be Bijan.
That was the quietest Triple Crown ever won.
Nobody gave a shit. Like literally no one cared. 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns. And they're like, that's his job. He's supposed to. Whereas Cooper Kupp did that one season. Like, yes, he had other really talented seasons, but like Jamar Chase put up like 1,500 yards his rookie year. And then people were just like, yeah, he's talented, but let me see him do it again. And then he puts up 1,700 yards this year, 17 touchdowns. They're like, but he has Joe Burrow. Mm-hmm. But they threw the ball a lot. Like, yeah, why do you think they threw the ball so much? Because he's over there.
Yeah.
He's way better than our running backs. Let's throw him instead.
Yeah, they got the poor Bengals players got taxed, got defensive taxed so bad.
The Trey Hendrickson tax.
Yes.
I think he did finish pretty high in defensive player voting, but like
I think he was second.
Yeah, but like every stat that they go off of, like we're talking pressure rate and sacks, like he won all of those.
But they're just like Steelers fans don't believe exist.
Yeah, it's not real. Like if you go off of a career, yeah, TJ Watt destroys Hendrickson, but like today, Trey's 2 times the pass rusher. Not to get into that too much. That was just a dumb debate that's been going around.
Fucking hair. Be careful with that language. You might get assassinated.
I've been being yelled at by Steelers fans forever. This is not new. They all know me.
Fair enough.
I'm like Heisenberg them all. Like you all know who I am.
I fucking hate Steelers. Like I will say it. I just hate them. I feel bad for the silent group of them.
There's so many of those. Many of those. It's the same as Ohio State fans for me. Like they are definitely the most outrageous, obnoxious group of fans. But there's so many, and there's so many cool ones too that are like embarrassed by those.
Mm-hmm.
But like they just can't speak up.
They're
They're afraid because the other Steelers and Ohio State fans will attack them.
I just can't believe they all like act this, like they all respond to these arguments the same way. It's always with a stat head player comparison, and that just has no validity to any capacity. And they're responding to a stat that's actually legit, and they're calling those fake.
Fake stats, not real. I am not seeing a real thing. You photoshopped that.
Those are nothing. I was told a nothing burger stat was what pressure rate was called yesterday in one of my threads. Okay, buddy. Well, speaking of defensive players, who would be your defensive player of the year vote for 2025?
Another player where it just smells like it's time. I picked Micah Parsons. And you could go, the Myles Garrett route. You could go the PS2 route. I thought my honorable mention is Kyle Hamilton. But I think that they just love edge rushers, especially if you're not getting a ton of picks. So I think Micah Parsons is entering that like physical prime for an edge rusher where it just makes sense as Myles Garrett, Hendrickson, and Watt all hit their 30s.
Yeah, I like that. Now that I think about it, I'm kind of upset he wasn't my vote. He slipped my mind. I think I've had the same guy in my head as my vote for so long that I just didn't think about it. But I'm still happy with who I choose. But Micah Parsons, I don't think people understand how good he was last year because he only played like 11 games. But had he played the full season, there were so many guys last year that I felt like missed time, but were on pace to be fucking maniacs. Like Hutchinson, Nico Collins, Micah Parsons, like so many players that just got hurt in the middle of what was looking like an unbelievable season. And, Parsons is that example too. Like he was unreal. He had a positive, I think the stat was a positive win rate at defensive tackle for the first time in his career in one game last year. Like that's like he was playing D tackle. Yeah. Like, that's how bad they were.
He was an off-ball linebacker in college. Like this guy's journey is absurd. He plays literally everywhere. And I don't think people take that into account. His run defense numbers aren't as good, sure, because he's 250 pounds playing the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he drops back to play off ball, and then he plays the run from the off ball linebacker position, he's a world destroyer. So yeah, I just don't think people pay enough attention to where he plays all game long.
Yeah, I also don't think people like his mouth either. So they're like,
okay, well, like Lawrence Taylor was the worst human being on earth, and people loved that about him. But Micah Parsons does it, and they're like, thug.
Yeah, Micah Parsons hosts a podcast, and Jerry Jones wants him dead.
Jerry Jones wanted Dak dead too. Like Jerry Jones should just. I'm not going to say it, but you know what I mean.
Well, it's time. I think it's time.
It's time, Jerry.
I think there are Cowboys fans that probably feel, or Cowboys players that probably are waiting for that clock.
When was my prediction good for? Do you remember? I had him going down at some point, and I put a time on it. I
don't think it was a set date. I think it was before something. I think it was like before something else happens. I think before he retires. I think
I did say that later, for sure. But I'm pretty sure I got pretty specific on how, where, and when.
I remember how. I just don't remember when.
Yeah, but Micah Parsons, there was a few guys that I really liked. Will Anderson was another kind of sleeper that I really liked. But most of the top edge rushers these days are in their 30s. I'm just not banking on that anymore. I think Micah Parsons is next up behind all those guys. Yeah, or Max Crosby even. There's so many.
There are. Max is another good vote. Going back to the whole idea of projecting, who feels like they're on the brink. Those guys definitely fit that description. The guy I went with is someone that I've mentioned before too, is Jared Verse. I mean, that guy had 77 pressures as a rookie. The sack numbers weren't there, so it wasn't talked about too much, but he's the man inside the machine that is the pass rushing group of the Rams defensive front. It's kind of like that whole thing we're just talking about, who feels like they're on the edge of a breakout. And you can argue Verse already did, but I look at a guy like Aiden Hutchinson, who in 2023 in his second year finished with 101 pressures, the second most in football. He was my vote for 2024, and the guy was on pace for 150 pressures on the year before he got hurt. He was going to win it by a mile had he kept that up. And the same thing kind of goes for Verse here. I see a guy that's young, explosive, that finished, last year with absurd numbers. He finished 4th amongst all edge rushers and pressures. I almost think it was a fluke that he only ended up with like 4 sacks. Like, I feel like you are just
That
bound
was
to,
dumb.
like
Yeah.
you're bound
It's
to
not like
find
he
a
can't
quarterback.
finish. It's just like when he has that good of pass rushers around him too, and when people know that he's pressuring from behind,
Mm-hmm.
they can just move the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a little bit different rushing from the blind side.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think that the sack numbers are on him. I think sack numbers are pretty unlucky or lucky, but the pressures are undeniable, and he was dominating.
Yeah, the anatomy of a sack is interesting. Like, what goes into like who gets what
Yeah.
sack, and like a
Yeah.
quarterback avoid like running away from one guy and then ending up in the lap of someone else. It's like that could be a sack for the other player. He just didn't touch him, but he made him run away.
Right.
That's
That's
why
the big
pressures
part. It's just
exist.
causing chaos. And not many edge rushers, even the top guys, cause chaos like Jared Verse does. Like, even if he's not even getting a pressure, he's moving that left tackle like 4 yards backwards. And even if it doesn't count as a hurry, the quarterback knows it's coming. And that's in his brain the entire time. So, like, I think Jared Verse is a pretty good pull.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like an escalation is right here. You can't have
Right.
77 pressures, and I'm projecting even more than that this year, and only end up with 4 sacks. So I mean, if as long as he hits that like 80 pressure threshold and like gets to 10 sacks at least, he'll be in the conversation. But that's the minimum. I mean, I think it could be even more, especially with just how ferocious I think that defense is going to be. Like, and versus head weighing it, that stuff matters a lot too. I think more than we probably take into account. Like, if you're on a good team, then you're going to get that much more consideration. The whole Bengals thing all over again.
Yeah. And yeah, I won't spoil it because I'll probably get into it at some point later. But yeah, I think their defense is going to be nasty.
Mm.
And he's their best player.
Oh, yeah, easily. Offensive rookie of the year. I feel like we don't need to, unless you have something unhinged to say. I feel like we probably
I don't have
agree.
anything unhinged, but I have like I have a statement where it's like I think that it'll be closer than people think, and it always is.
Yeah.
Like, there's always a running back prospect that is by far the best one, and that's Genty, who I'm assuming you picked too.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always other like second and third rounders that produce similarly. So I think that I have 2 candidates for that. And I might as well just go and predict one of them to be higher than him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna switch I pick Genty, but I'll take Travion Henderson.
Oh, wow.
As my offensive rookie. Because I feel like when it's all said and done, I think the production could be relatively similar if something goes wrong in Vegas. Like, it's just I don't want to pick Genty. He is by far the best, but I don't want to pick him.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was sitting there like, as much as I like to try and be different sometimes, I would be trying way too hard if I took anyone other than Genty. But the guy that I thought you were gonna go toward in saying that was Amari Hampton. I that's the guy that came to my mind when you started talking. Like, I think Hampton is probably, as far as like the optics go and scheme fit and all of that fun stuff, he's probably second to Genty in terms of opportunity in front of him. So I think if Najee really has like an eye patch on all year, then Hampton could really go nuts and inch closer to Genty. But it just does feel like Genty would have to get literally hurt and miss half the season to not win this thing.
Yeah, like I think it would have to be something, even if it is play, it would just have to be their guard play is so bad where it's like a Ken Walker situation where, like, yeah, he's breaking tackles, he's doing what he can, but like legitimately physically does not have a place to go. Yeah. And there is a chance of that because their run block last year was horrific. And I don't think they've changed it like at all. In fact, they brought in Alex Kappa, who was the worst run blocking guard in the league last year. Like, they didn't do anything to help it. But there's just not any competition. Like, I'm not scared of Raheem Mostert. Like, they're going to throw the ball, but they're not going to be a pass-heavy team, I don't think, with those receivers. But I do think people are sleeping on Caleb Johnson a bit. Like I think they're just viewing him as like the fourth running back off. Like he's just mediocre. But like I rewatched his tape. He is really nice. And I think that the Steelers' offensive line, from a run blocking perspective, is pretty underrated. With getting Troy Fautanu back, Zach Frazier, the center, I think Broderick Jones still has potential as a run blocker. There's potential here. So I might even switch it to Caleb Johnson just to be a little bit different. But it's Genty if we're not being insane.
The funniest outcome that would just have me so ecstatic to go on the biggest troll campaign ever would be Travis Hunter somehow winning it. Like I would go at every Genty supporter's neck and just shove my foot as far down and as hard as I could. I would fucking die. I would love that. I would love that.
There is a chance that he only plays defense situationally, third down and longs, like times where you need, someone with ball skills, but he's just like a full-time Garrett Wilson playing offense, gets like 1,200, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, just becomes an easy offensive rookie of the year shoe-in. Like, and they want to give him the award. They do. Like, even if the stats are like in Genty's favor by a little bit, they're like, yeah, but he plays defense too.
If it happened all over again, oh my God, I would love that. I think that's the chaos I want for 2025. That's my Christmas ask on my Christmas list is to remake the Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty a Heisman Award argument, but in the NFL for Rookie of the Year. That's what I want for Christmas.
Also, Travis Hunter deserved his Heisman, and I'm not going to get into it much, but he did. You big babies.
Hands down. Anyone with a fucking brain knew that Hunter deserved it. And people that just said snap merchant.
Oh my God, they're so stupid.
Go get fucking locked in a jail cell. And like
he's not playing offense and defense. Like he's not playing like Artie Burns and like and freaking like Trent Taylor. Like he's not just happening to play on both sides. He is playing like Garrett Wilson in a lockdown corner on the other end. Like it is way different.
Literally acting like he's Marcus Jones.
No, he's Marcus Jones is a snap merchant, sure. Like you don't want him on offense if you don't have to. And you barely want him on defense. But like Travis Hunter could legitimately be a top 10 corner and receiver in the NFL, and it would not be insane. More likely to be a top 10 corner, probably, just because of the competition at receiver. Like I don't think he's quite Malik Neighbors level, but like he's not that far off. Like he should. I think he could pretty comfortably be a top 15 receiver, Devontae Smith level, even like pretty easily.
Yeah, I agree. He's got that twitch. He's got that Garrett Wilson twitch.
No, don't say that because they're going to show the clip of him running a comeback, like in like the first day of practice. They're like, see, this is why he's awful.
Yeah,
like Travis Hunter is the worst player ever. Snap merchant.
This episode has me thinking about all of these past like huge debates, like the MVP one, the Heisman argument, the Steelers TJ Watt thing that just happened. Like there was just so many like pools of people that I wanted to like punch,
prove wrong,
prove wrong, and punch at the same time. Well, Genty is our vote, but of course there could be other guys in the mix. It's just you can't not choose Genty.
And there probably is. Like it always is. It's just you would be dumb to think otherwise.
Yeah, right. You can't project and predict with a gun to your head anyone else. You just can't.
No.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. This one I really struggled with because no one stood out to me as much as the odds suggest. Like Abdul Carter is the favorite comfortably, but I just don't think Carter will have the season that it will require statistically to win the award. Only because there's just so much else going on that defensive front that he's just going to be a piece. And I don't think he's going to have like 8 sacks, 10 sacks. I don't think he's going to clear like 60 pressures like Verse did. I think he's good, but I think that's a lot to ask for a rookie in his first season. So I ended up going with Malachi Starks.
Hey,
it's just going to be one of those things where I think he, especially considering that he's getting vaulted into the starting role a lot quicker than anyone expected because of the Ardarius Washington injury. If he comes out the gate and he balls, like I think it will be almost a runaway for him. Like I can't think of anyone else that really stands out and deserves it. Like if
No,
Starks ends up with 7 or 8 picks, which I think is easily possible, I think he runs away.
I also had. I've predicted this on prior episodes and TikTok posts. I think Malachi Starks is comfortably my defensive rookie of the year. I did think about Jahdae Barron a little bit. He's the new nickel corner for the Broncos, but like you said, like on a stacked defense, on a successful defense, playing next to Kyle Hamilton, playing behind great linebackers, besides good corners, like the responsibility that he has to take on is not that much. And rookie safeties usually fail because they're given too much responsibility. So now you can let Stark just go be an athlete, go play the ball, go like make some mistakes, go fly after the football, like be a beast. And there's no one else, like you said, like Abdul Carter, that is really in position to be super productive just because of who they have around him. Like Kayvon Thibodeau's been wrestling. I mean, he's going to be a beast now because they put him in the wrestling room. And Brian Burns won't come off the football field. Like, that's just not happening. Dexter Lawrence will get 10 sacks himself. So then Abdul Carter's looking at, like, what, 3rd or 4th place on that team, like, to try and get some stats. It's just too many mouths to feed.
Yeah, absolutely. And other than that, like, I kicked around the idea of even Mike Green, but I just couldn't get behind that. I thought about...
Yeah, I'm not just going to be thrown out.
Yeah.
He doesn't deserve my list. Like,
right. Like, the other guy I thought about briefly, because I haven't heard his name since the draft, and it would be an insane comeback tour, would be Will Johnson. Like, if Will Johnson steps out there and he turns out to be fully healthy and he's like, fuck all these idiots that thought I was hurt, and he goes and locks people down week in and week out, and the Cardinals defense is kind of vaulted into maybe being a top 10, top 8 unit because he's Pat Surtaining half the field, then I think he can just as easily run away with it too. Because like I said, I don't think anybody really is going to be the heavy favorite other than maybe Starks.
I am curious how much Mike Green will actually play, because there isn't like a whole lot of pass rush demons on that team, like Adate Owe and Kyle Van Noy. Like, how old is that guy? He's probably 35 this year. Like, they should play Mike Green more than he's probably going to, but they're like, yeah, we can't just play a guy that did that.
That's what I mean.
Like we can't just let a Nazi, play linebacker on our team. Like, that's why everyone stopped liking Felix Baumgartner, the guy that jumped out of the guy that base jump, because they're like, oh yeah, he's actually like a Nazi. Let's stop talking about him until he dies. It's the same. It might be the same thing with Mike Green, where it's like, yeah, he's really good. Like, we'll put him in on 3rd down and stuff, but like, he probably did it, so
yeah,
we're gonna leave that alone.
That's how I felt. Like, he could very easily, I'm not gonna say get redshirted almost, but I just have no guarantee that this guy plays enough football to even be remotely close to winning the damn award. So that's why I strayed away. And even if they, don't really care about all the shit that happened off the field, I just don't strike the Ravens. No, they don't. We know the Ravens don't. But I just don't strike them as a team to have a guy like Mike Green, a rookie, out there a lot. Like, I think they're just a rotational group, and that's the nature of it. So,
but Malachi Starks will not rotate. He will be a 90% snap guy probably. So,
absolutely. Well, this brings us to the new and very exciting award, the Protector of the Year award. I'm really excited to talk about this one. This is obviously the brand new award going to offensive linemen, and I'm super interested to hear who you went with, because we were talking pre-show about how we think this might be awarded, but we didn't necessarily follow that agenda. So who'd you end up going with?
I partially did. I took it as who I think will statistically and film-based be the best lineman, but also one with a big name. So I picked Jordan Mailata, the left tackle for the Eagles, who like statistically was the best tackle in the NFL last year. And also he like sings at Christmas time. So I think that like right around when he's done singing and it's fresh in people's minds, like in January or February when the awards come out, it'll be perfect timing.
I was thinking like this definitely will be, like we were kind of saying, an award that is very at least maybe early on, legacy based. Like they're going to want to give it to the Trent Williams and the Lane Johnsons. And like you were kind of saying, because they've been doing it at such a high level for so long, they feel like, we got to give it to these guys if they play 17 games. But I decided to try and fit the framework of what I've been trying to do for all the other positions or all the other awards. And that's look for a guy that's on the verge of a big year. And I ended up going with Christian Darrisaw for Minnesota. He's coming off a massive injury, of course, but assuming he's healthy, he is 26. He's kind of entering the prime age of offensive lineman. He's approaching that part of his career. He is the cornerstone, the established franchise tackle, and we saw how much it hurt when he went down for the Vikings last year. So if he can really come back fully healthy, he's got no designation right now, which is great news, then he's a part of potentially a top 5, top 3 offensive line. So he probably can just go out there and play his game, not have to worry about too much that's going on around him. And I almost think blocking for J.J. McCarthy, a quarterback that at least as of right now we're uncertain about, could probably boost his odds. Like if McCarthy goes out there and balls out, it's like, oh, Darrisaw allowed like 3 sacks all year, only allowed like 12 pressures, and he had a rookie quarterback behind him. Like that's pretty impressive. So I think Darrisaw in that offense could potentially be a part of this conversation.
He could. He's one. Him and Tristan Wirfs are 2 guys that I avoided because of the injury. And like those linemen, they heal a little different because they're 320 pounds. Like trying to heal and then to go move around on a knee like that versus somebody that's like 185 pounds is pretty different.
Yeah.
So as someone that's not 320 pounds, I couldn't speak on that, and I was just gonna kind of leave that alone. But I do believe Darrisaw, guys like Rashawn Slater, guys that are kind of in that like age prime where they're not quite in their age prime yet, but they're just about to be. So would not be shocked if we see some of his best years right now. Joe Alt's another guy that I kind of thought about a little bit because they could go the Penei Sewells, the guys that have, made a really popular name for themselves. But they could go for like the young cats and try and like build up the next generation of linemen and make them popular again. So Joe Alt could be a guy that I see, but Darrisaw's a good pick.
I'm interested to see what route they take. Like I feel like it'll be pretty obvious what their voting process was once we end up seeing who wins it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there are 2 different pools here. Do you go with the veterans, the established guys, or do you go with like the younger generation? And Wirfs, I hate that Wirfs got hurt because I think he would have been my pick
he would have been my pick. Like he was my pick. I wrote it down, but then I checked his injury status just to make sure. Then I saw he might miss a good handful of games. So, and usually for a lineman, like when it says a few games, it extends much longer than you would think. So that does worry me for him. So I'm taking him off my list, but I feel pretty comfortable. Jordan Mailata has a pretty decent chance.
Yeah. I think if I had to choose to, survive or die, then Mailata would probably be at least in there. Like him or Sewell, I think will be what it's between ultimately.
I think Sewell will probably win it if we're talking about like the NFL executives or like the ones choosing this. He's the most popular lineman in the NFL. And if I've ever made any kind of offensive tackle list without Penei Sewell at number 1, everyone's like, are you serious? Guys, kill him. Like shoot him, attack him, run, box him, like swat him. Like people get pissed if Sewell's not your favorite lineman in the league. So he might win.
Yeah. Now, I did see Mitchell Schwartz because he's pretty active on the Twitter world, kind of like shitting on Sewell a little bit recently. He's like, I don't understand why people think Sewell's this all-world tackle. Like he's good. He's a great run blocker. He was basically saying like he's just not a good enough pass blocker to be considered one of the best, which
I agree.
I think there's some argument there.
Yeah. That was kind of a thing that I ran into. I was like, he is probably, I don't know if he's the best. He probably might be the best run blocking tackle in the league. But the difference of him as a pass protector versus Lane Johnson versus Tristan Wirfs or Mailata, like it's pretty big, honestly. So like when I put Sewell at my tackle 4 or 5, it's not disrespect. It's like that's higher than what statistically he's earned, to be honest. And I mean, I don't know if it's because he's at right tackle when he used to play left or what, but he's just not otherworldly yet. And he's still probably, like 25 years old. He has plenty of time to get significantly better. But what he's played so far, he's not been the best tackle or nearly as good as people think.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, that's why I think Lane Johnson, well, at least the last time I ranked tackles to some capacity, he was my one. And that's the biggest reason why. I'm not going to sit here and say that one's more important than the other, but I am going to kind of say that. Like, I think I'd rather have a better pass blocking offensive tackle than a better run blocking offensive tackle.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think that's consensus opinion, I hope.
It should be. Unless you're running your runs directly behind Sewell every single play, then the impact from him isn't quite as big.
Yeah, it will be interesting this year to see if the Lions are in more pass-heavy scripts because of the potential regression we see from them, and to see how Sewell kind of does. Like, they are constantly in situations where they're winning, and they can run the ball whenever they want. So if he gets into some uncomfortable situations, then we could be getting into some uncomfortable conversations. So
yeah,
we'll see. The Lions are interesting.
They are.
We are down to the last 3 awards. We'll get to Comeback Player of the Year. This one, talk about a list of names that you could choose from. There were a lot that I pinballed around, but I want to know who you decided to go with.
I think there's only one, and I think it'll be Aiden Hutchinson pretty comfortably. Like, just to come back from how terrible his injury was, number one. Like, you have guys like Dak that could win it. You have some Christian McCaffreys that could win it. But when you look at like the actual injury itself, what he has to come back from and how much more likely it is for him to come back as a good player than Christian McCaffrey, I think that he's a pretty comfortable shoe-in for it. I like Dak. I don't think the league or media likes Dak quite as much as, I like Dak. So I just don't think he can win it.
Well, it's so difficult to figure out what the hell they're going to do with this award, because as much as I want to believe that the story behind the player and the injury or the circumstance matters, they go and give Joe Flacco Comeback Player.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
So it's like, I do want to believe that the story and stuff matters, which I still think it does, but that 1 year just really makes it difficult to understand what they're going to do ever. But it was between 2 guys for me. It was between McCaffrey and Hutchinson. And oh man, I ended up going with McCaffrey, and it came down to the question you just answered, which was, who is more likely to come back and perform well from that injury or whatever their injury was. And I leaned McCaffrey only because his leg didn't snap in half. Like, I just don't know what Hutchinson, like, I don't know. I think McCaffrey, like, Achilles is a pretty brutal injury, and whatever the hell else he dealt with before that. I think the combination of me believing he will be a more productive player this year than Hutchinson, and the story part too. Like, the stories are unmatched each. Like, one guy snapped his leg in half. The other guy was in Germany getting Frankenstein treatment.
That was
came
crazy,
back, played 2 games, and then tore his Achilles. Like, they're both polarizing, like, almost horror stories, but it really is just, who do you think is going to play better? And I ended up going with McCaffrey, because I think all he has to do is have 2/3 of an average McCaffrey season, and he'll probably take it.
Yeah. I mean, I think CMC will still rush for 1,000 yards, still catch for 500 if he's healthy. It's just like, his thing is so much harder to predict, because with a broken leg, it doesn't usually lead to a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, how quickly can you recover from that? And I have no idea. I have not been keeping tabs on either of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a shot in the dark. But CMC, it's like, I don't know, because he was healthy and then he wasn't, and then he was healthy and then he wasn't. So it's like, is he just permanently dead like this? Like, is this just how his leg is forever? Like, is he just going to have calf and Achilles injuries forever? I have no idea. But I'm like, I'm just going to bank on like the 23, 24-year-old to come back. And edge rushers are a little different, especially because he's not like a speed edge rusher. He's a little bit like power based, technique based. Like, I think he could still collect 8 sacks, 9 sacks, and then like just fall into the award. I don't know. It could definitely be CMC. It probably should be Dak, but no one likes him, so he won't win.
Right. He'll definitely have the best season out of the three, I think.
Yes.
And he won't get any looks.
No,
at
literally
all.
no one. Is there anybody you could think of that like could win like the Joe Flacco award? Like the guy that just went from like he's came back from being ass.
Who wins it the Joe Flacco way?
Yeah, like the Geno Smith way, like the any of those, like you just came back from being shit and now
I
you're good.
think. Oh man, there are a lot of gross.
You can't really
names.
predict that.
No, you can't.
Actually, Daniel Jones is one.
Yeah.
Low key, Daniel Jones is one that like has the highest potential just to come back from being ass to being good again.
Oh, there are some gross names on the odds list.
Legarius Sneed's on here.
I know, what the fuck.
Why? Why is
know.
Trevor Lawrence fourth in odds? But like,
I think the name that sticks out to me the most, which would cause the most outrage, is JJ McCarthy. Like,
yeah,
I get he's coming back from injury, but he's never played an official snap, so we don't know what he was gonna be.
He never started. Yeah,
right. Like, if he won, that would start a whole new argument. Like, how are you gonna give it to someone that didn't even play yet? What did he come back from? Like,
yeah.
Like,
why is Rondale Moore Why is Rondale Moore have higher odds than Dre Greenlaw? Like, why does Dre Greenlaw have odds at all? Like, yeah, this is so strange.
I think Darren Waller being on here. Darren Waller would be fucking hysterical. There's no way. He's already on the pup list.
No, that's a good one. The pup list could just be like, this guy's not physically ready for the NFL yet. He just signed here like 2 weeks ago. Like, people use the pup list like that in preseason all the time.
Yeah.
I don't think he's actually hurt. I think that they're just putting him there while he catches up.
Yeah,
which is amazing. What if Darren Waller goes for like 700 yards, 8 touchdowns?
Is that enough?
He could yeah.
You think so?
Maybe not because this is like a stacked injury year. But like there are some years where like it's just shitty players that got hurt and came back, or all the star players only had minor injuries. But Aiden Hutchinson snapped his leg. Christian McCaffrey was out almost the entire season last year. Dak Prescott is a quarterback and he's pretty good. Like, it's just no chance. But I think Darren Waller and Daniel Jones have really fun odds of just being like the terrible to decent players.
Like, why is Brevin Jordan listed?
What?
Why is Brevin Jordan and Naheem Hines winning this after suffering like the most bizarre ACL tear thanks to like a jet ski or something?
I have beef with Naheem Hines.
How you have beef with Naheem Hines?
Because I put him in one time in fantasy. One time I needed 3 points to win. He got hit in the shoulder and then like had a seizure and was out for the game. I was like, what the hell happened? He had a concussion from a shoulder hit on like the first play of the game and didn't get my 3. It was like 3 years ago. It was one game where he ended up starting for Indianapolis.
Yes, I remember this.
It was like one game that he had to start, and I was like, well, he's gonna catch 3 balls and get me 3 points easy. I'll put him in. And then he gets like knocked out of the game from a shoulder hit, shoulder to shoulder, no heads touched. He's out.
He pulled a Tua kind of.
Yeah, like he just fell to the ground, hit his own head, and then he was out.
Yeah,
and then like he stood back up, fell back down again. They pulled him.
Yep.
So we have beef. I know Bills fans probably love him because of like the whole 2 kick return touchdown thing, but not me. Not me.
About that.
I hate that guy.
It's hilarious.
I'm the only Naeem Hines hater in the world.
I think the biggest crime about looking at the odds for this is the fact that the only players that are listed here are players that are listed on sports books. And the fact that FanDuel is so fucking grimy to even list. I mean, Oli McNeil, isn't he already hurt?
Yeah.
Isn't he gonna miss time and they have him listed?
He got hurt like in the final game of the season, I'm pretty sure.
Didn't he just get hurt again though? Who got hurt for the Lions? Someone just got hurt.
Levi Muzariki got hurt for like the whole year. But I think the deal with Aleem McNeil is he tore his ACL like in like the final game. So it's going to take a long time for him to even come back. Like generally, if you tear your ACL in the back half of the season, you don't come back for at least the back half of the next season.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't think Aleem McNeil even could play good enough somehow to play 6 games and win that award.
Hunter Renfrow?
That's a good
I
one.
got to get off this website.
No, Hunter Renfrow came back from like where was he?
I don't know. I
What,
think he
was he
talked
serving
about it.
Was he serving like a Mormon mission? Did he come? Was he taken by the mob?
Isn't there a high school quarterback that's doing that? He's like not going to college because he's like doing some missions.
There was like a BYU kid that like was it Ryder Lyons or something.
Yes, him. Yes.
Yeah. The amount of like BYU prospects that I scout, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy looks like a grown man amongst boys. And I look, he's like, oh my god,
like,
this guy is a grown man against boys. He's 26. That's why Taysom Hill, like no one knew Taysom Hill was like 36 years old.
He's old.
He's old as shit because he served like 4 years before he even had to came into the NFL. So like he should be like turning 31 in our minds, but he's actually like 35.
Yep. He's one of those guys. Every year, I always like to keep up on who is older than everyone thinks they are. And Taysom Hill was on that list last year.
This year it's Terry for me, but
yes, he definitely fits that description. Oh my god, it's so sad how old he is.
He's a year younger than Mike Evans. It's crazy.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Like optics make age seem so different than what it is. Like Mike Evans feels old as shit, and Terry's literally
he's just playing 4 years longer. Mike Evans came into the league 2014? Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
When did Terry come in? Like 2017?
About so, yeah.
Yeah, like that's wild.
Yeah, it is. Well, we have 2 coach awards remaining, and
2019. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
It was 20. Really?
Terry came in 2019.
Oh, that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Well, coach of the year. Well, let's do assistant coach of the year first.
I'm curious to know your assistant coach because we were kind of struggling on this one because there's so many.
Struggling big time. And I'm going to go with a guy that it's tough because it's going to end up conflicting with how I feel about the team, I think. So, yeah, I don't. All right, fuck it. I'm going to say Jesse Minter. I'm going to give it to Jesse Minter. He quickly stepped in and kind of transformed that defense right off the bat. Like Brandon Staley had that fucking team in shambles. He had his one like Peyton Hillis year, and then Brandon Staley fumbled as a coach, a coordinator, everything in Los Angeles. And Jesse Minter came in, and everything got flipped on its head. They were one of the best defenses in football last year. The only hesitation I have is like whether or not the offense is going to be good enough to take pressure off of what I think will be a good defense or could be. And that's my concern. Like, other than that, though, I don't know who else. Like, Brian Flores was the other name that stuck out.
I thought about him a lot.
Choose, but I'll go with Minter for the sake of.
I think the popular one should be Spags. It should be Vic Fangio. Guys that you're pretty popular are going to have a great defense. I chose Chris Shula, the D coordinator for the Rams. And I hinted at that earlier. I'm just like, I think that their defensive front is going to be so good. And I think that if you see a team, especially a defense that like is good enough to help carry the team to like 13 wins, that kind of range, I think they could do it. Because I think that they're also, like a thing, like they don't want to give out awards to coordinators that have been great every year. It's why Spags hasn't had one in like forever. It's why Vic Fangio doesn't get him all the time. Because they want to give him to like new guys that just broke onto the scene. And Chris Shula is not a household name quite yet like those guys. So I think he can get it done.
That's a perfect answer. Like it has to definitely align with the expectations that the team have and whether or not they will reach and exceed them. And the Rams, I'm just as high on the Rams as anybody else. So that's a great pull. I like that one a lot. I really didn't know who to choose though. Like
it was hard. I went Brian Flores. I did think about Jesse Minter, and then I went to the offensive side of the ball, and I was just all over the place. It's hard. It's really hard.
I thought about Lou Anarumo a little bit too.
I thought about Lou too, but I was like, I don't think their defense is going to be good enough for that.
No.
I think he'll help improve them, but like I still don't think they're going to be a top 10 defense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they'll be, I mean, if anything, they'll definitely suffer from, at least most likely will suffer from offensive anchoring. But who knows? I think the Colts will be better than people think they will. But I
think so too, because of Mr. Upside.
Yes, you get it.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, Lastly, coach of the year. This one I'm also excited to talk about. I think there are, like you were kind of saying, like when it comes to giving out these coach awards, they don't like to give it to the established guys. There has to be something that they did that can't exactly be quantified necessarily. Like
Right.
Brian Dable transforming the Giants was what earned him his coach of the year.
Yeah.
Kevin Stefanski with the Browns, like that kind of thing. Yes.
Yes, twice with Stefanski. It's like who can drag my team from shit to decent. It's not about who can turn this team from good to great. It's who can help save a team.
Yes. That's the perfect way to put it. And I think there's one guy that sticks out to me that I think he's won one already, but it's been quite a long time if he has, and that's Sean Payton for Denver. I do think Denver is going to be a good team this year. I almost wanted to give the assistant coach of the year to Vance Joseph, but I'm like, I can't give them both out to Denver coaches. So Sean Payton is my vote. Like if he goes from whatever was going on in Denver before he got there, he already probably could have been in the running last year if Kevin O'Connell wasn't the clear favorite. And now if they have the type of season that I'm kind of expecting, which might not be like AFC contending or anything, but another playoff team that is going toe to toe with some of the best. Like they were playing the Bills in the wild card and they scored 7 points out the gate and everyone's like, holy fuck. Like, what's going on here? It obviously tumbled quickly, but he's been the reason for that team's turnaround. And if they have another good year, I think they'll be like, you know what, Sean? It's been a while. You deserve another.
Yeah. He was the coach I initially had written down too. And it was for the same reasons. Like he has taken multiple years to turn this team around from uncompetitive to semi-competitive to pretty competitive last year, and I think that they're going to be very competitive this year. So I think that'd be a pretty good one. And I chose a coach that almost fit the exact same thing. I don't know if he's won before, but if he has, it's been a while. I picked Pete Carroll of somebody to come into a awful Raiders team last year, and they've made so many different moves, bringing in Genty, bringing in Geno Smith, bringing in a lot of different, bringing in new offensive coordinators like Chip Kelly. I think this team could be, a playoff bubble kind of team. And if that's the case, usually just taking a team from horrible, like what pick did they even have? Like it was
6.
It was 6. Yeah, they had 6 pick. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
To a team that might be drafting in like the 18 to 22 range next year. So I think that would shoe him in if they can be that good. And I'm a little bit more pessimistic about their odds of being a good team this year than most seem to be. But even if they're decent, I'll give it to Pete Carroll.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that would be one hell of a turnaround. Like Peyton already has built the foundation that's kind of going into like the good to great thing. Whereas like this is like dog shit. It's just like you said, will the Raiders actually be good enough, be better enough to fit the description? And I just don't want to think about it. Like trying to figure out what's going to happen in the AFC West is breaking my brain. So that's almost why I was like, fuck it, Sean, like Jesse Minter, sure. But I don't know. Like, will the Chargers be second? Will they be fourth? Will the Broncos be? I don't know.
I think people are overdoing the Raiders, and I think people are still kind of underdoing the Chargers to a degree. Mm-hmm. It's kind of strange. Like, I don't know, because I don't think I've watched enough of this whole Raiders team to really have an idea. But I'm just like, I think that the gap between the two teams last year were so big. And I don't think that the Chargers got worse enough, and I don't think that the Raiders got good enough to like completely just crumple that gap. Mm-hmm. But I do think it'll close a lot more than I thought.
Yeah. Yeah. I think early bets would have the Raiders last for me, but not like a devastating, like horrible season.
Right. Last. Like 8 or 9 wins. Like, I feel like I've been on a lot of trains lately of like kind of shitting on these hype trains. Like I've been on like a Panthers one kind of recently where like, I don't think it's their year anymore. I don't think they can make the playoffs, but it's been happening a lot and I feel bad for it.
There's nothing wrong with hopping on a hate train every once in a while.
I can't
I know
do
you
it.
try not to, but it's fun. It's fun sometimes
I'm not
to
a
hop on a
villain.
hate train. It's fun to embrace that role though, just to be like, you
I'm
know
not
what?
Trey Young.
It's fun though.
I'm
Like
not
you
in
finally
Madison
can
Square Garden.
just like shit on a group of individuals that just think something that just is not going to happen. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not personally insulting anybody. It's just
No, I mean kind of.
maybe like
Yeah,
Jerry Jones. He got personally insulted. He
he
deserved
did.
it
He did deserve that.
though. Well, if you have any last thoughts, oh wait, I do
I
have
was
one
about to
last thought.
say.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I forgot. We usually mix it in. We have to do our random category of the episode. We're trying to do this daily, unintentionally, or weekly, episodely. And we asked our Discord prior to the episode what we should do the category as. And they told us to do sports movies. Now, I am not a movie guy. I'll be upfront. I'm going to be very basic here, but I think they all fit a top 5 description. I'm going to let the movie guy here, though, kind of
All right.
take it away first because I'm lame.
So for me, I'll start number 5. Number 5, I have Major League, a movie I just watched recently. It was really good. Number 4, I have Love and Basketball. Number 3, I picked Caddyshack. Number 2, I picked Remember the Titans. And number 1, Moneyball.
Moneyball.
But I honestly could put Caddyshack at number 1. That's like my favorite comedy movie ever.
I think the only movie I've seen on that list is Moneyball on TikTok, and I've also seen Moneyball. I've also seen what was the third one you mentioned?
I said Caddyshack third.
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans was my number 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Moneyball has been like generationally slept on for not Moneyball, Major League. I meant Major League's been slept on for a long time.
Yeah, I've never seen that one.
It's actually so good. It's from like probably 1990. It's a baseball movie, but it's funny. Like Charlie Sheen before he was like a villain.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't he like a bad man now or something? Like
they're all bad. It's just about when they get caught.
It's a crazy.
Love and Basketball is a good movie too. It's a little Omar Epps movie. It was good.
My family just watched the movie. I wasn't around, but I was watching the first couple minutes of it. It was a Christopher Nolan movie about like inverted bullets. I can't remember what it was called.
Tenet?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like a 2.5 hour movie. I went to hockey and came home 2 hours later and they were still watching it. I'm like,
I love the movie. I wish I understood it, but
yeah, right. That's the whole bit with that movie. It's like you probably can't understand it. You'll watch it, but you'll have no idea what happened. Well, my top 5 in really no particular order, but there is a clear number 1. At number 5, I have The Mighty Ducks, the classic Mighty Ducks movie. At number 4, I have Slapshot. I love Slapshot. You can tell where this is going. At number 3, I do have Moneyball. As much as I feel like Brandon Beane goes to bed to Moneyball every night and it pisses me the fuck off the way he runs the Bills, like almost in the same exact mindset, I still got to give the movie credit. It's not the movie's fault that Brandon Beane runs his organization like they tried to. Number 2, I have The Longest Yard. That movie is hysterical. That's how white man runs a football meme has been just beat into the ground, but I'll laugh every time I see it. And number 1, and I almost feel like this would be consensus. I think you fumbled here. It has to be Miracle. How is it not Miracle?
Never even seen it.
Oh my God.
I live in Cincinnati.
Who cares? It's the greatest American sports feat ever.
We don't care about hockey here. We literally don't care about hockey. Like if you walk around and you see one guy wearing hockey apparel, like what a dick. Get him out of here. Like who does he think he is? We are a football and baseball town.
Fair enough. I guess that's true. If you don't have a hockey team at home, maybe. And like living here in Buffalo, it's very hot. This is a hockey town, hockey city, so it definitely is a lot more prevalent. But you gotta watch Miracle. It's like it is the most impressive, the biggest accomplishment that any American sports team has to its name. Like
beat the Soviets
by a mile, beat the bad men, beat the bad men. A bunch of kids beat the bad men.
I do know all about the actual event, but the actual like movie from like 1981 I have not seen.
It's good. It's definitely worth the time. Although I will say, not that this is related, but watching the United States beat, was it Serbia, and Steph Curry just like get, what's the word I want? Like, oh my God. What's the word when someone gets taken over by a ghost?
Possessed.
Possessed. Yes, he was possessed, getting double teamed and was just draining threes with like a gold medal on the line. That was a movie to me.
That was like,
Like,
I didn't watch it live, but I went back and I watched like the last, like it was like a full uninterrupted last like 9 minutes.
mhm.
So I got to watch it in all of its glory. It was incredible.
Yeah, it was. I was, for some reason, deciding to watch it live. I really didn't care about the tournament at all because I was like, we're the United States and it's basketball. How are we not just murdering
I don't
everybody?
care. Yeah.
And like, I don't care. But I turned it on and it was, the last 5 minutes was just on fucking real. So that, I'm sure, will be a movie someday at some point.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Miracle on the hardwood.
Miracle on hardwood, even though like it shouldn't be a miracle.
It's not a miracle. Like they won the game they were supposed to.
Exactly. That they probably should have won by like 12 at least. But no, that's, I think, everything we have, unless you have any final comments, thoughts, opinions.
No, I just don't like hockey that much.
That's lame. I need you to get behind it. We can start doing hockey content.
I don't want to do hockey content. It's too many Russian names. Too many Czech names. Too many like too many.
Basketball is getting pretty difficult though with some names.
Yeah, I'm checking out. Football has stayed like Jackson and Mahomes, Burrow, Allen. Like these are so easy.
Jackson, Williams, Smith, like just your regular names.
Easy, so easy.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up here. If you guys have any thoughts, opinions, comments, drop them down below. As always, if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff, and we will see you in episode 50, the big 50 bomb.